Hello, good evening, and welcome back to In Stitches with Jackie. If you're new, welcome. Tonight I'm working on a really fast project, at least it looks like it's a really fast project, and it is the Kimberbell. This is called Be Mine. And it's going to go on a little cinch sack. Difficult, but let's see. So it is going to be a 5x7 hoop. I do have sticky back tearaway, and I have to score it. I finally got that all off, and it was tough. You could see all the marks. I will say it is the end. It's kind of the end of the roll, and maybe that's why. I'm not even sure what brand that is. So so again, 5x7, make sure that you really check your hoop and that this is on good. Score it, get everything off. Now this is still, I don't believe that this is something that's available. Just wanted to show the cuteness of stitching this out. It was a special event, and what Kimberbell has been doing recently, though, is they've been bringing a lot of these things back for digital downloads. So this may become available. I'm sure if you asked hard enough, it might. Okay, and then I'm going to be stitching this on one of the Kimberbell blanks. And this is one of the Canvas Cinch Sacks. And two of these come in here. And these are really nice because this is like a canvas and nice quality. And it's open. It has the drawstrings in there. And once I have my embroidery done, then I can just turn it inside out, and I'm gonna stitch it, put those in there, and I'm gonna stitch down the side and the bottom, turn it inside out, and you have a really, really cute little bag. I'm gonna go over to the machine. Okay, I'm over at the machine, and something I have not said, my sewing room is an absolute mess. It is a mess from the holidays. It is a mess. That's all I can say. And I am going to put a new bobbin in here because this one is almost done. I use the Filtech pre-wound bobbins. Let me get this in the machine. Okay, I have the new bobbin all placed in there. Oh, it doesn't look like I can get this any. All right, now the first thing I need to do with this is I need to put my, I'm going to have to stitch this crosshair thing. This is, it's just one size. You don't have to have multiple sizes. And all this is going to do is put the crosshairs in the middle of the hoop so that I can be accurate when lining up. All right, I have that on there, and that is all loaded. And this now is just, I'm going to keep this pink in here, and it's going to do the stitch line, the marking line. Now you do have to watch sometimes just doing this little marking. Sometimes it can stick up your needle some, but I have a 90-14 needle in here, and I don't tend to have any problems. Okay, that part is done. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to get the cinch sack set up to get on here. Okay, I wanted to show you the instructions of how I got here, because this is how I'm going to load this onto my marker here, my center crosshairs. So what it had me do was open up the cinch sack with the right side down, so the wrong side out, marked 1/4 inch from the left end. Then I turned it here and marked the middle. Okay, so after you do this marking, then it says flip the cinch sack over to the right side to the left sides, finger press the center fold. And this is going to be wrong side of fabric is out right now. Wrong side of fabric. So wrong side of fabric is on the outside. Then what you do is you place the pins, as I did. Place the pins. After the pins are placed, you're going to unfold the cinch sack and take this left side that has the mark on it, and I'm going to bring it to the pins. So you have to mark that, because obviously if I just did it this way, so I'm going to take that marking and I'm going to line it up with the pins. And then after I do that, put a little bit of finger press, then I'm going to lift this up to right below where the cord is. So right there by the cord is where that's gonna go. And this right here got a little undone when I moved it. So this is gonna be, this corner here is what I am going to match up on here. And it's hard to see because I did it with pink thread. So I'm gonna take and I'm gonna line this corner up with these crosshairs, and I'm gonna line those up. And then I am going to unfold whoops, sorry, that's a little big. So unfolded and pressed it down. And now this is the right side that has been pressed down, and that's good. We are all good to go to the sewing machine. And now we're gonna go over to the machine. Okay, so I am done with that part. So I'm gonna return. Just gonna go back. This design was sent wirelessly. And I think that is the bigger one. This is the small one. It gives you suggestions to take and to take clips. I'm not going to do that because they clunk all over the place. I'm leaving it like this. You just want to make sure, keep an eye on it. I mean, I probably could take a clip or two, but I just kind of feel like they scratch all over the place, and they're more of a nuisance than anything. So it looks like I'm going to be starting out with three with the some embroidered hearts. So I am going to go ahead and get those hearts started. Okay, so it did those hearts, and now we are moving on to the next one is going to be the pink glitter. So I'm going to keep the pink in because I need the placement lines. And I am going to take the film off of my, pink. Sometimes it's not easy to get this off of here, but for the glitter, you have to make sure you take this off. If you don't, it is not going to be good. So I'm taking that sticky thing off. And I have my placement line, my 3 placement lines there for my 3 hearts. And I'm just going to put this whole piece on here. Make sure that they're all covered. Now, could I put tape down? Yes, I could, but I am not going to. Just going to hold it, let it start stitching. It usually does this type of double stitch. These are going to be raw edge little appliques, which means I'm going to cut this away. There's not going to be any decorative stitch around them. After these are done, then I'm going to take it to the cutting table and I'm going to cut away the extra glitter. They do say you can take an iron with a little pressing cloth and iron those down, but they're small pieces, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to do exactly what it shows here. I'm going to cut away the glitter, and then I'm going to move on to the next one, which is going to do the looks like it's going to do the red glitter. Okay, I'm going to get this back on here. One thing I am going to suggest that I did not do, the pink that I stitched these hearts down with matched up so much that I could barely see where to cut these. So be mindful of that. Now this is going to be covered in some, there's a big piece of vinyl that's going to go over this. It's not going to be a big deal, but yeah, probably should have. I'm going to keep this pink in here, and I am going to do the other placement line, and it is for the red. So I am going to get the red ones, but I'm going to keep the pink thread in, hoping that I'll be able to see it better. Taking the off of there. Again, keep an eye out, make sure that this is all good. After these hearts, it looks like I'm going to be stitching the globe placement line. So the globe is going to be the next thing. So as I was saying, these are projects I love to do. Obviously, I have grandchildren. I like making cute little things for my grandchildren, but I also like making quilts and bags and other things. It just gets hard to decide what to post and what not to post, right? I did take my showering stars, which is the quilt that I posted. I took that to the quilt shop today, and it's going to be long arm quilted. I picked a really nice complementing, not a Tula. They didn't have any Tula wide backs. But what I picked was really nice. All right, again, I'm leaving the pink in, hoping that I'm going to be able to see these hearts a little better. Again, be mindful of the, oh yeah, and I'm fine with that pink being on here. If I would have done the red, I would have had the same situation. I would not have been able to see it. So I'm okay with that pink being on the red. It will allow me to be able to see that much better. This is a really, really cute design. I love when you're working with all these different textures, you know, the glitter, and then I'm gonna have the glitter vinyl. I think the total stitch out time for this is 26 minutes, which is perfect. Right now on the side, I am going to get my piece of vinyl cut, which is going to be cut, the clear vinyl is going to be cut 4 by 4.5. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut that away and I'll be right back. Look at how cute those hearts look. Very glittery and really cute. So now the next step is going to be the placement line for the globe. And I have to see if they're suggesting like a white thread for that. Let me look and see. Placement line. Yeah, it looks like probably just a white thread. So let me get that thread changed. Okay, I put the white thread in and I am getting ready to stitch the globe placement line, making sure nothing is underneath the hoop. Everything looks good. I cut my piece of vinyl and I leave the paper wrapped around it until the very end. These little hearts are somewhat hard. They're not easy to cut. I'll tell you that much. They're very small, but I do see some areas I want to clean up real fast before I put this vinyl on. Okay, just clean that up a little bit more, and now I'm going to peel the paper off. I keep the paper on. I cut my vinyl with the paper, and I keep it on until I am ready to use it for my project, because it's clear vinyl and everything is going to collect on it. So I like to try to protect it as best I can. Okay, now it's going to do the tack down. I'm just holding on. It always does this double stitch when you know it's going to be a raw edge. That means there's not going to be any finishing on this vinyl once it's done. This is so cute. Okay, I'm going to take this to the table and I am going to cut away my excess vinyl. Okay, I'm getting ready to put it on the machine. You can see I have my cute clear vinyl on there. Now it is going to stitch the placement line for the bottom of the machine, and I am going to change. I'm going to see, does it go straight into the stitch the satin stitch? So I am going to place my red thread in here. Okay, I have my red thread in, and I am now going to do my placement line for the bottom of the gumball machine. I mean, this thing is going to be just right on here. Now I'm doing my fabric tack down. And I chose this color. I would have probably wanted something that was a little more red, but I'm trying to use scraps that I have sitting around, and I had a lot of this scrappy pieces of this, and so that's why I'm using this. All right, my tack down line is done, and now I am going to cut the excess fabric away. I'll be right back. Okay, that is done, and now it looks like it's going to do the satin stitch. This is really cute. It's a small applique, and I'm saying that it's a simple project, but it has a lot of steps. So that's why it takes 26 minutes, because there's a lot of detail. For such a small embroidery, there is a lot of detail to this. And this is going to go ahead and stitch all the way out, and I will come back when this is completed. Okay, the satin stitch is all finished up, and now the satin nightline. Now stitch the dispenser chute. So now I got to get some black for the dispenser chute. Okay, this is black, and it's going to stitch the dispenser chute where the little heart comes out. After the dispenser chute, it looks like the top of the stitch the lid placement, and then it's going to put that down. Yeah, there's still quite a few steps on this. Actually, there's like 45 steps. Little design, lots of detail. All the way down to 10 cents that's going to be stitched, and I'm going to have to find my thinner fold. Okay, now I'm going to put my red thread back in because it is going to stitch the top. And that's what it just stitched, is the bottom where the little heart or gumball would come out of. Okay, now I'm going to do the placement line for the top lid. I want to cut that string off of there. I'm always afraid it's going to cause a knot. And I'm just using the same fabric again. It's a bigger piece because this was a scrap I had left from another project. It's good to use up all these little scraps. Okay, I'm going to cut that excess away, and when I come back, it's going to stitch the satin stitch. Okay, it's now going to stitch the satin stitch. I'll show the start of this, and then I will bring it back in once it is all done. Sorry, there's a glare being picked up from the vinyl. done. Okay, it's finishing up that satin stitch. How cute this is. I'm telling you, it's so realistic looking. All right, next, oh, now it's going to do a satin stitch below this. I didn't realize that. Okay, so there's going to be a little satin stitch that's going to go around that bottom part there. And it is showing it in red, so I'm not going to change the color. It's going to kind of blend in. All right, I'll bring you back when that's done. Look at that. When it did that, it completed, and there's a little heart sitting in there. Okay, next I have to change my thread color because now I'm going to be putting the plate applique piece on. Okay, now I replaced kind of like an off-white thread, and I am going to stitch the placement line for what they're calling the plate. The thing I love about Kimberbell designs is they are always so detailed and digitized so wonderfully. So now this is another piece of applique, and what applique fabric, and what I did failed to say up to this point is I did put SF 101 on the back. I always do, whether it calls for it or not. I just feel like it prevents the fabric from fraying, and it gives it more of a crisp look, and it looks better after it has been stitched. So that's just my opinion of that. Not what Kimberbell says you have to do. I don't know why that's on there. Alrighty, let me get that trimmed away. Okay, it is now going to do a satin stitch around here, which I am not sure how it's going to do that because it's bumped up right against the other satin stitch. This is going to be a satin stitch, so I'm going to bring you back when the satin stitch is all done. And then the next thing is going to be the placement line for the coin shoot. Okay, this is finishing up the satin stitch for the plate. Next, it's going to be a placement line and the silver leather. Gonna get the machine set up for that. All right, I have my gray thread in there, and it is going to do the placement for the key thing. Now I am going to place my silver Kimberbell leather. Again, I'm just going to hold that in place. Definitely be careful of your fingers when you do this. Okay, I'm going to take this and trim the excess away. I trimmed the excess away. Look at how cute that is, and it is going to do a satin stitch around this. It's like so, I mean, again, they think of every detail. Again, making sure that nothing is underneath there so I don't have any unexpected issues. And I'm going to go ahead and start my fabric up there, my stitching. I have so many of these little cinch sack bags. I've been like collecting them. So I think this one I might give to my granddaughter and maybe put like a little, I don't know, like a little dolly or a little, maybe one of those little, I don't know, little box of crayons, something like that. And maybe some little stickers, and it will be super cute for a Valentine gift. It's kind of giving it like a 3D look. It's kind of cool. So cute. All right, when this is done, point, shoot, satin, stitch the dispenser her placement line. So there is going to be glitter over that. So that's what this other piece of glitter is for. And I am just going to leave the silver in. Again, I don't want to deal with pink. That is really small. I'm gonna cut this. Just gonna cut this piece of glitter a little smaller. And I'm gonna keep that gray in there because I want to be able to see. This is gonna be so cute. Okay. Kind of sticking a little bit. All right, I'm going to trim this away, and then it looks like there's going to be some details with black thread. Okay, getting ready to do some black details here. And then it looks like it's going to be a little 10-cent thing. Yeah, this is that top part is going to fill in with the black, and then I'm going to use this. I'll show you when I'm moving this out of the way here. I'm going to use this is a 60 weight, because that little part of that, that's going to fill in with black, and then this is going to be, the white is going to be used for the 10 cents that's going to be stitched in there. And if I try to use regular 60 weight thread or 40 weight thread, it's going to be a mess. So I like to use the 60 weight, which is this one right here, and you can differentiate the 60 weight by the white. It's going to have a white spool, and that's a finer thread for finer lettering. All right, this is almost done, and then we're going to put in the white thread, and then the only thing left to do is the V-line stitching on the side. There's quite a bit of detail for such a small design. All right, I am going to load the white thread. Okay, so I put in the white thread. I'm stopping it because there's that piece sticking up there, and I don't want to take any chances with that. All right, we're going to put that back down. It's such a, I mean, even that one doesn't look the greatest, and this is the finer thread so that you can at least get a better quality. Okay, that finished up. Now I'm going to put the red in. Last step. Okay, red thread is loaded, and it is now going to stitch the V-line, and that will complete this design. Then I'm just going to have to stitch the cinch back together, and this will be a completed project. Okay, applique is all done. Gonna take it and take it off the hoop. Okay, I'm gonna tear this away. This is what's so nice about this sticky back tearaway. I mean, it tears away so nice. Not hard at all. Now there are a lot of little stitches here, and so I'm just going to pause this a minute, and I am going to cut all these little things before moving on to the next step. Okay, I cleaned it up pretty well, about as good as I'm going to get it. I pulled away the extra stabilizer from here. I'm not going to try to do it there. That's just not going to work out very well. So this is the finished design. I mean, how cute is that? I mean, you have the little 10 cents, you have the little shoot. There's the detail. I always say the detail that Kimberbell puts into their designs is always so nice. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change things to a sewing machine. I am gonna fold this back the other way. I'm gonna put both of these inside so they don't get caught in my stitching, because I'm now going to stitch this closed so that this project will be done. All right, I am gonna go to the sewing machine, and I am gonna sew all the way across, making sure that my ties are inside here and they're not going to be a part of my stitching there, because we want the ties to move, and they are stitching right there is going to be fine. So it's going to be a 1/4 inch. Okay, I have my machine in the sewing mode. I am going to start from this closed part here. So I kind of have my my machine was doing some weird stuff. I like not even, whoa, I don't even know what it was doing. So I'm gonna go back some. I don't stitch very much on this machine, although I love stitching on this machine. Getting ready to go to a retreat next week, and I was gonna bring my little Janome Gold, but I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to nix that idea, and I am going to lug this down the stairs. It's going to be a sewing, so I'm not going to really be, not going to bring my embroidery unit. I would like to, but there's going to be mainly people sewing, and, well, pretty much everybody sewing. And me and a friend many years ago went to a retreat, and it was a basic retreat, a basic sewing retreat. And we brought our embroidery machines, and we were embroidering, and the woman who was in charge of the retreat was not happy with us. And you know, I never thought that we were doing anything wrong. And apparently, you know, the sound of the embroidery machines going. I am going to do this again. I feel like right here didn't stitch well. Even though I back stitched, I'm going to do it again. I always like to reinforce any type of little bag or anything like this, because I don't want it to open up. You know, especially if I'm giving it to the grandkids and they're stuffing it with things, and the last thing I want is, you know, for it to open up or them to lose something. All right. Turn the bag inside out. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't cut my corners. Let me get my scissors. It suggests, as always, to trim up these corners. There's really not a lot of leeway here, though. So I got both of those corners done. Let me get my my OESD, get these corners. Even though this is rounded, be careful. I still have gone through things, but, you know, it's probably me being a bit aggressive. So I followed this pretty good, and look at how close that is to the bottom. But in the picture, it looks like that's the way they have it, because you really need to have the clearance up at the top here. So make sure everything works well with the strings. I didn't sew through anything. Let me just tie this, show how this looks. And don't mind my mess. Cinch sacks make super cute gifts. Look at how cute that is. It is adorable. Take it back. I mean, put a little bit of candy in there or whatever. It is just really, just beautiful. Very nice project. I hope you enjoyed this stitch out. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Give me some comments on what you thought of the project. And please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. It does help in the growth of my channel. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed the project.